Hello, my name is Dan and I'm the Principal Consultant for FE Associates and the Vice Principal for Havant and South Downs College. So, is accessing CPD a challenge for teachers, and is it often attributed to time, but do we also recognise how important it is for all of our teachers to develop and reflect on their practice? Well, welcome to my first vlog and the Teaching Matters site through FE Associates. This site will feature regular vlogs and blogs from myself as we work together to continuously develop pedagogy in the sector. Now, I don't feel everything we do should be centred around Ofsted. However, the new framework has been positively received from some of the pilot colleges, to such an extent they've even used words like "we love it," which is pretty powerful stuff, you might argue. So the new framework focuses on something called quality of education, and as a key theme, and within this there'll be a deep dive into curriculum. Inspectors will start talking even more to students about their understanding of the intent of the curriculum, and particularly their behaviours and indeed their attitudes. In support of this, and in this vlog, I wanted to talk about successful learning strategies which can lead to positive behaviours and attitudes. So we will all be aware of certain learners who have come to us with strategies that seem to work really well for them. And in my first blog, I wrote about whether the concept of gifted and talented is real, and whether success is actually attributed to learning good strategies that have helped them over time. A book I highly recommend reading is Bounce by Matthew Syed. He provides many examples where individuals have experienced significant success due to practice, practice and practice, as opposed to simply being gifted and talented. In fact, he even refers to a figure of 10,000 hours in order to make someone highly successful. So one great example he provides is where two maths protégés completed several 4-digit multiplication problems. They did this alongside two cashiers who had 14 years experience. Now, the best cashier was faster than both the protégés. So someone regarded as normal, in fact, surpassed the apparent gifted protégés. The cashiers had clearly developed effective strategies and then practiced them over and over, and that enabled them to be successful. So is this the case that anyone can actually learn great habits that can enable them to be successful? Now, in FE, it's easy to assume students come to us with strategies that help them to be successful, such as revision, assignments, writing, etc. But my experience has certainly found that some students come to us without these. Now, it's true that when one is highly successful at something, whether it be academia, art or sport, they will find it difficult to articulate what exactly it is they do. If you ask them the question, they'll often shrug and say, "It's just what I do." Now, let's take an example of Johnny Wilkinson, who is one of our famous kickers for rugby. Now, one of his strategies was to imagine between the posts there was a lady called Doris eating an ice cream. Now, what Johnny Wilkinson would do is aim for the ice cream. So he effectively made those posts look even bigger as a target. Now, we could capture that and share that with other rugby players, for example. So a great question to ask our students is how they remember the information they've acquired. So for example, if I asked all of you what is the chorus to Wonderwall by Oasis, I suspect a large number of you will know the answer. And I bet this information has been recalled by you singing those lyrics in your head. But did you actually sit down and revise them in the same way a student might for an exam? I suspect not. But you have used a strategy to remember it, such as associating the song with a moment in time, or you can see the music video, or you can hear the melody, and possibly how it made you feel. Whatever strategy you have used, it clearly works for you. And now what we could do is model that strategy and share it with others to enable them to be successful as well. Now, there's no doubt everyone has the ability to acquire new skills and develop these, but some students need support. They need assistance between developing strategies, and these can be learnt from others. So what is all this leading to? Well, I ran a research project in the past where I interviewed a series of students that I deemed as high performing, and I wanted to capture the strategies that they used in order to be successful. On our Teaching Matters site, you will see a document titled Strategy Elicitation Questions, and they are designed to fully unpick what strategies the students use so that they can be modelled and shared with others. Now, the questions need to be sufficiently probing, because otherwise they'll just answer, "It's just what I do." So they've got to dig into the detail. But I promise you, by asking some of these questions, you will get a fascinating array of responses that can not only help students, but also help the teachers to reflect on their practice as well. After all, if learners won't learn the way we teach them, why don't we teach them the way they learn? Now, you may have your own criteria around the students you want to interview. It might be high performing because they had strong GCSEs, or it might be high performing because they've overcome some challenges, or students who are consistently motivated and successful in whatever means you deem appropriate. But what I recommend is building a bank of effective learning strategies from a selection of students for each curriculum area, as the skills required may well differ. But the school can also be done by specific levels too. But we want to try and really build that toolkit amongst our students to share across. And I think this is great to really develop that growth mindset. So I mentioned earlier the new Ofsted Framework. And I think this is a great way to improve the attitudes and behaviours of students, as they will feel valued to have been asked what strategies they use, but also they'll feel valued because they are supporting fellow students to be successful. Or indeed, as Oasis might say, you're going to be the one that saves me. All in all, it's a great employability skill by working and developing other students, I feel, as well. So I do hope many of you will take these points on board and seek to capture the great strategies some of our students will inevitably use. My vision is to have a bank of learning strategies for all levels of learner and indeed all of the various curriculum areas. For example, what does an outstanding engineering student look like? So do please get in touch, do share any strategies you capture, and I very much look forward to hearing from you again soon. Please look out for future vlogs, future blogs, and welcome to the Teaching Matters site. Thank you very much.